Hi everyone, I hope you are having a very blessed day today. This is Renee bringing you my newest little junk journal that I made completely out of envelopes and paper essentially, and then a bunch of scraps I had throughout the house. After 20 years of scrapbooking, 20 plus years, I have a lot of scraps hanging around, so I figured I might as well use them all. So today what I'm going to do is take you through a quick flip through this new journal, and then at the end I will do a short tutorial to show you how you can take this idea and make it your own. They're super easy. So let's move this out of the way. And so let's do a flip through. Like I said, all done with envelopes. So here's the back, here's the front, and I tied it together with this little ribbon that says treasured moments on it to kind of keep it closed because it pokes open a little bit. Not too bad, but the ribbon helps it stay closed. Essentially, this was an envelope, and all of these were envelopes, and I just covered them with paper and scraps from around the house. So this is a fabric piece I had, some lace that I glued on, and these pieces of paper, as well as some of the tags throughout this, I think I got from Artie Mays. I think it was either a free kit that she sent out, or maybe I purchased them along the way. So here's a tag, some journaling space in the back, and this was just a piece of paper that I coffee dyed and put some ink on. So this one opens at the top. Let's see if I can get it back open. Of course, I'm having an issue with my, there we go. Sometimes it helps if you just poof it out to the sides like that. Okay, so this opens up, and this is the back of the envelope with a little tuck spot for another journaling card. Again, I think this page was from Artie Mays. And then all my other pages were from scrapbook papers I had accumulated over the years. So I literally just took what I had around the house. You can see here's a piece of fabric that I sewed on, and I like to sew as much as possible, sew the pockets and folders and such on, because I think those seem to hold up better than if you just use glue, but you could use whatever you want, washi tape, glue, what have you. Here's a little tuck spot here with a journaling card, and this envelope opens to the side with space for another journaling card. And here's an envelope which opens to the top with a tag. Seem to have issues with these at the top. Here we go. There we go. I just personally have issues with those all the time. This one flips open. Here's another folder or an envelope that I used, and then this comes out with a journaling tag. And again, like I said, I use just pretty much all the scraps I have around the house. Now here's a long envelope that I sewed little tuck spot in for another tag, but then on the back I sewed another tuck spot or a little pocket or folder pocket, I guess, for another one. I always seem to like to add extras, like when you flip things over, like, oh look, there's a surprise on the back, another place that you can journal or add pictures or what have you. I try to cram in as much as I possibly can into each journal, it seems to be. So when you open it up, it opens here, this flips out to a journaling spot, and then here's another little envelope that opens up to the side for a tag with some fabric and places to journal, put pictures on. And then this opens up this way. And then when you have it opened up, you've got three places here. Here I have a little baby tuck spot with another journaling tag. Then this is a folder that opens up this way, and another, not folder, but envelope, opens this way, and this one opens this way as well. And each one open up at the top where you flip over and you have journaling spots there. And these top ones always have issues. Well, we'll just leave that out for now. We'll put that back in later. And then this one, comes up again with journaling spots. see if I can get this one in. There we go. Perhaps, there we go. Okay, and then those open up. And then you have a big envelope here with a big journal card with a pocket here for another card. And then on the back of this one, there's a tuck spot with another little journaling spot or card that you can use. And then on the back of this, you have places to journal. I like to have a lot of places where you can journal or add pictures. And then here's a little mini envelope or mini. This was the piece from this envelope that I used when I cut this envelope. This was the leftover piece, so I'm of course going to use all my scraps. Comes with a little journaling card here on top. And so that opens up. Then this is a big one that has a large journaling card in it. Again, space to write on or add pictures on the back. And then this one, so this opens up into more, but this side is another big one with another big journaling card as well. Added a pocket, another tag, back with a tuck spot for more. Again, I always like to try to add as much as I possibly can to each journal. And then here I put some fabric and some, it's kind of like cheesecloth, and then a little ephemera. So on this side, another little pocket, and this pulls out into a little booklet. Again, more journaling. And this was paper that I just copy dyed and inked up and sewed into a little booklet. So you have that here on the side. And this was that big journal card from this page. Then this part opens up and we have the little thread and button enclosure. And these are so easy to make if any of you want to make them. But this was just an envelope, again, I covered with paper. This opens up into another little mini booklet. Again, with pages that were coffee dyed and inked up and what have you for journaling. And all of this was really done, I think, with maybe 6 or 7 envelopes and just some paper. Super easy to do. And there's so much that you can add in each one of these. And, you know, in a small little space, and you have all this room to journal, put pictures, and, you know, I have little pockets here so you can put, you know, any memorabilia or whatever you want in these. So all of that, let's see if we can get this guy in here. Maybe he'll cooperate now. Yes, he will. Look at that. Okay, so all of that in this one little junk journal. Okay, so let's do a quick tutorial. I'm going to show you how you can make one of these for yourself. So all you really need is just a variety of envelopes, whatever you have. You can use the junk envelopes that you get in the mail with the clear windows. I think with the next one I'm going to do one with the clear windows so I can do some sewing around those and adding pictures to those. But you can have any kind of envelopes, any kind of size, whatever is your heart's desire. So all you need is a few envelopes, a bunch of scrap paper. Really, I think I only used about 4 full sheets of scrap paper, like 12 by 12 scrap paper, and the rest was all just little pieces I had that I tore up and glued on. And like I said, I downloaded some Artie Mae's pictures in paper, backgrounds and paper. Some of these tags were from Artie Mae's, like these tags. These tags were Artie Mae's and Artie Mae's paper. But the rest was all my own scrapbooking paper, material scraps I had, and such, you know, little things like that. Okay, so that'll give you an idea. So really all it takes is the first thing you do is figure out how you want your book to lay out. So you could like if you have a big envelope like this, you could add envelopes that flip out like this. Like you could add these like this. So this would flip out like this. This would flip out like this. You can then just start layering and adding however way you want. Like you might want a little card to be on top of this one, a little flip out. So this would come flip out like this, and then this would flip out like this. Whoops, let me see, get you on the screen. So like I said, this would flip out like this would flip out like this, that would flip out like that. If you have a big one. I didn't use a big one on mine. So with mine, I had I had three, let me see, let me look, four. I had 4 large envelopes, tall envelopes. So this is one, this was another, this was another, and this was another. So that was my base, the four big envelopes. And then I just started figuring out how I would attach them. So like this one would be attached like this. So see, it would flip out like this. See, just like this. There it goes. And so once I built up, and so I figured, oh, this would be a good spot for a little one. You know, I put a little one here. So I got that. And then I'm like, ooh, I want another big envelope over here. So, and I wanted it to flip out. So I would add that to my, see, so there's that flips out. And then I'm like, ooh, I could add a couple smaller ones to this big envelope. So then you would get a couple small envelopes like this and attach them like this, because that's the way you want to flip them out. And then on the front page, I was like, oh, there's a little envelope over on this side. So then you can like flip this and you can just kind of see where you want things to be flipping out, which way you want them to flip out. Like on this, I added some small envelopes to this side of the envelope, see, to flip out like this. And then I would add another one. So you have the double flip. See, I mean, you can literally keep adding more and more and more envelopes as you go. Okay. See how they're all flipping? And then you can decide which way you want them to flip, how you want them to lay, all of that. I wanted them all to lay like this. But if you have like a big envelope like this, you could, you know, have 2 sides and flip them. And then when you open it up, you've got this whole, side on the, over here. So look at this. When this is opening up, you've got these envelopes open up here, this opens up here, this opens up here. You know, this one will flip this way, this one's here, and then this would flip from there, and then you can have a whole bunch on this side, and then it opens up to this bigger envelope in the middle. I mean, literally, your imagination and what kind of envelopes you have, I mean, the sky's the limit as to what you can do. So once you have your whole format set up of how you want these to open and flip, in which direction you want them to flip in, all I did was start attaching them. So what I did was cut this part off. So I just had a strip and I would glue it to where I wanted it to go. So at the end, you would have all these flaps and sides and stuff like sticking to the back of some of these envelopes, but it was really no big deal, because when you're done assembling your main book, you know, your base book, when you're done assembling this, now you have the whole thing put together, and then you would go back and just start decorating. And that's the fun part, y'all. So all I did then was figure out which way I wanted these to open. Would I want it to open from the inside? Would I want it to open from the outside? Would I want it to open from the top? And then if I did, I would just cut, if I wanted it to open from the top, I would just cut a little strip off the top. Or if I wanted to open up from this side, I would cut a little strip off this side, etc. And then I just wrote arrows, because this would help you. I'm going to tell you right now, this will help you while you're decorating. So if the opening was on this side, I would do an arrow and point it that way. If the opening was at the top, I would do an arrow and point it up, just so I knew where to put my holes, you know, my openings for each one of these. Like this one, I knew to put it to the side. This one, I knew to put it to the top. Because after a while, when you've got like, you know, 10 envelopes going on at once, you get kind of confused as to where your openings are. Because I knew that if I wanted to open it to this side, I would have to cover this. And the way I covered these is when I got my piece of paper, my scrap paper. Let's see if I can find some. Hang on one sec. Okay, so let's say I had a piece of paper, scrap page here. If I was gonna cover this, I would measure it out and cut it out. And then if you have a sewing machine, I would suggest sewing this part. It just kind of gives it that extra strength, I guess, versus just glue. But if you've got some good glue, I really just use glue sticks and just some regular glue, and they don't seem to stick very well. So if you've got some great glue, then remember to put glue down this side, but don't put glue here if you're opening from the top. You just want to glue the page here and a little strip down the side to close this part, this side up, so things aren't falling through. But I would sew those. So let me see if I could find, oh, here's one exactly. You can see the little sewing that I did along the side here, just to kind of strengthen. And I like to sew as much as I possibly can. And like I said, so if I'm gonna put this piece of paper on my envelope, before I did that, I would sew my pockets on first to make it easy. So I would take this piece of paper, if I'm gonna put this on this envelope here, and I wanted a little pocket like this on it, I would take this sheet after I measured it, take my little pocket piece, go to my sewing machine and sew that on first, and then I would glue this on or tape it on or sew it on, whatever you want. Now remember, if you are sewing, you don't want to sew your envelope closed, but you can go along the very edges and keep the, you know, whichever side, this side it's going to open on this side, so I would sew along this, okay? And this whole package is easy to put under your sewing machine. Like if it was bigger, it'd be harder, but you can decide. It was easy for me to take this and flip the pages over and to sew on what I needed. So I just assembled my book first. So, but as you can see, I sew as much as I can, just because I, you know, feel that when you're sliding things in and out, it kind of reinforces it. Now, if you don't have a sewing machine, like I said, you can use glue. You could use washi tape to tape all your folders together, however way you want them to fold out. Or maybe you want one to fold out that way, and then on this one, you want it to come out, you know, flip out this way, you know. So you can do whatever you want. You can flip it out this way, flip it out this way. You can have them flip up, you can have them flip down, whatever. So you just assemble it however which way you want, put it all together. I just cut a lot, like I said, I cut a lot of this off so I didn't have all this extra paper. I would cut like all this off and then just glue that. But you can washi tape that down. You can also take, if you want, just have regular masking tape. And I was goofing around with this in the garage the other day. You can take masking tape and just age it, like coffee stain it or tea stain it or whatever. Or you can take, let's see, what is this? Like Distress ink and just dab and ink your tape. This, I was just goofing around with some alcohol ink. And so you would get a little darker depending on the color of your alcohol ink. And, you know, I was just, like I said, playing with this. But you can take this tape and you can tape the sides, tape all this together if you wanted to, versus sewing or washi tape or gluing. So there's a lot of things you can do. You can even take ribbon and sew ribbon or fabric down the sides or whichever way you want. But have fun with it. Take what you have. Like I said, it's all about taking the junk you have in your house, and of course it's not junk, it's treasure to us, right? Anything is a treasure. But form these booklets any way you want. Any way. And as you can see, if you want to do it the way I did it, just watch again my flip through and it shows you how they all flip out. They all flip out. I just layered envelopes on top of each other, small and large. And then once you have your main book together, so these all flipped out like this, like this, like this. So once you have your main book together, then the fun part is decorating it. So you can go through, and like I said, I like to sew, and so some of these I just sewed for decoration along the side. And again, I would just take this whole part to my sewing machine and just sew. It was easy. And then once you have all of your envelopes decorated, the outside part, and you have, you know, whichever way they're opening, to the side or to the top or whatever, then the next fun part is decorating the, you know, filling up all your pockets and things. And you can do that with anything you want, with tags, with ephemera, with little journal cards, with big cards, with maybe making booklets or doubling up on tags and pockets and what have you. Like here, I doubled up with a pocket here, a tag here, and then a tuck spot here with some more journaling spots. So you can do whatever, I mean, your imagination, like I said, can take you anywhere. But it's so much fun to make. So anyways, if any of you have any questions, or you want to know maybe a specific way I did something, or you know, you're wondering, well, how do you make the tape, or how do you do this, or whatever, just ask me a question at the bottom of the video, and hopefully I will see that, and hopefully maybe be able to make a tutorial for you. But in the meantime, I hope you all took some inspiration from this, and it got your creative juices flowing, and that you want to make one of your own. And I would love to see it. If you do make one of your own, please let me know and show me a picture. I would love to see what y'all come up with, because I know you all are so creative out there, because I've been getting so many ideas from many of you. So thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a very blessed day, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.